His name is Ryder.
Tio said he's agua chiltepin.
This isn't gonna make any.
Love you, bro.
The guy! Oh my
Hey, down, this is Clark. Hey, if you get a chance, if you give me a call back, please. Love you, bro. I want to talk to you about the house. Hey, down, this is Clark. Love you, bro. Hey, down, this is Clark. Love you, bro.
All right, Trevor, you want to lead us in?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Hello and welcome to another episode of Caps Off with John and Trevor. This is, I have no idea what episode this is.
That doesn't matter. We ditched that long ago. Long ago, we ditched that. We don't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, but we record so little that I always forget what we do and don't do. All right.
But we
did the porn intro music play, or did we ditch that too?
Yeah, we ditched it all. Well,
yeah.
You'll just have to watch it and find out, I guess. Maybe if you really watch them, you'll know what is in, what is out, what I added, what I removed. You'd be up to speed.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'll get into this in a sec. We have because first I have to introduce our guest, who doesn't really need an introduction. He's been on Caps Off twice, and you can see that he's there. So maybe
you can.
Where's Matt Hamm3r once again, who is making a great comeback?
Yeah, the 3 actually makes sense now. You know, third time on Caps Off.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. I see what you did there.
He had that plan the whole time.
Yeah, the entire time. Definitely did not just think of it right now.
Right. So we are sitting down with Matt Hamm3r, who I was going to talk about. I haven't listened. I re-listened to the first episode of Caps Off a little bit ago, and I, much like John, you and I talked. I hated it.
Yeah,
it's bad. And but you know, whatever. But I thought about going back and listening to our previous Matt Hamm3r episodes as well. But then I had a better idea, because Matt, you're kind of like rebranding here a little bit. You've been talking to me about how you this is going to be you've come a long way. This is going to be very different from your old stuff, different both in style and in skill. And and you told me it's like a whole different Matt is coming out to play. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to go back and review these old ones and then have it be your third interview. I want to be able to interview and talk to you as if I'm talking to a whole different artist. This is a new guy here. So let's jump right in. I got some questions.
All right.
If you guys are cool with that, let's just jump right in.
I'm excited.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, John, when you went to the bathroom earlier, conversation almost naturally led into the stuff I just wanted to talk about on here. So I'm ready to go. I'm geared up. I
accidentally just kicked up my feet chair shit, and that scared the fuck out of me. You didn't release anything for a year. Yeah, it was like 19 months, yeah.
19 months. Okay, so like a year and a half.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy. Are we?
Sorry.
Are we really on the right grounds to be calling him out for something like that?
You guys were still releasing while I wasn't.
Well, we release from time to time, but I do want to know why Matt Hamm3r was radio silent for 19 months, because it did seem like there was some reasoning behind it when we spoke about it.
Oh, okay. So I love this. So I just want to cover this.
I have written out. Yeah. I did preparation. So
I just love that we're gonna dive into why Matt's been gone and not even touch as to why either of us have been.
That's the mysticality of Caps Off. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a real word. Fuck it.
Yeah, why break the fourth wall? Matt, where have you been?
Well, as I was saying before, or while we were all setting up, I did buy a house, which was really awesome. That was part of the reason. I was going through the process of buying the house whenever we released God Complex with Josh, or now Jalen, and previous then the Real Arcane.
Yeah, the Real Arcane.
Yeah, now he's Jalen, which, I mean, awesome for him. I mean, his music has really evolved too. I think me and him coming together really made us better. But back to, the question. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was worried about her little daughter and all that stuff. Not gonna go through all that because that was a fucking shit show. But I also was just focusing on the music itself, like not even my own music. I would listen to, at least for Fits Up, Bite Down, the artists that inspired me were Zillakami, Scarlord, City Morgue. So I kind of focused on that style a little bit more and understood what sounds did what, or how the lyrics were for that genre. And then even for my other music that I've been sitting on for a little bit, I'm still like picking out, hey, I like this artist's flow. Let me transition it to a little bit of more my own style, which is, I've also, my brain is all over the place. Sorry. I also started doing a little bit of sports broadcasting. So I'm doing Arizona State football games. I'm doing IFL Indoor Football League games for the Sugar Skulls and the Rattlers, which it's a whole lot of fun doing a whole lot of high school games. What's up?
They do indoor leagues?
Yeah, they do indoor leagues. It's actually really cool.
Huh.
That's how did you kind of get into the sports broadcasting world, and how does that translate into your content producing?
My content producing, it does not translate over at all. I'm just learning how to hold a camera. Hold a camera and talk about sports more professionally rather than just sitting back and talking about it casually, I guess. But
you don't think that any of the stuff that you did before as Matt Hamm3r helped you when it came to the sports broadcasting?
It helped. It's just more of I don't have to worry about being nervous on camera anymore.
Oh, okay.
It helped build a lot of that nervousness that naturally comes on with being on camera or being recorded at all.
Wait,
it helps with that a lot.
Holding the camera. I thought you were
sometimes I'm on camera, sometimes I am holding the camera and stuff. So,
what are you doing when you're on the camera?
Talking about sports.
Okay,
analyzing the sports game.
Should have thought of that. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that was awesome. My dad was offered to do it, and he's like, "I don't want to do it." I was like, "Fuck it, tell him I'll do it," and I got thrown right in. So,
yeah, it wasn't the Matt they set out for, but they got a Matt nonetheless.
Yes, sir.
You did mention in that diatribe the name of your new song, Fists Up, Bite Down.
Yes.
That's a title. That is quite the title. A little bit of a catchy title.
That's a title.
It is. It is a title. It was gonna be "You Wanna Fucking Die," but I had to somewhat make it marketable.
Yeah. The execs were gonna hate that.
Yeah, the execs that don't exist for me.
I like Bite Down. I like that. It's a very it's intriguing. It's like wordplay in a way, but I can't figure out why.
I think it's gritty. It feels very
gritty is a great word.
Like I'm about to take care of what I need to take care of.
To do the gritty.
Yeah. You have no idea what I'm writing right now. Like whenever I was promoting it, I said, "Welcome to my IDGAF era. I don't give a fuck era," because I really don't care about anyone else except for my friends and family. So y'all are safe.
So,
but anyone else, my guns are firing, bro.
So all that Matt Hamm3r with an E, Matt Hamm3r with a 3, Calypso, all that stuff's gone. You are straight up just IDGAF.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about shit.
Okay.
That was also a whole lot of me not being mature enough as a person in general to understand where I want to be, where I will be going with my music and with my own life in general. And it's crazy how just it switches like that. Like it's just boom. You understand that, well, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, you got to stumble and fall before you can run or something like that.
Right.
Something like that.
Never made a skilled sailor.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did what I did. If I could go back in time and change just a little bit of it, I would. But I mean, nothing major.
I think it's good to look back on your own like previous stuff and be like, well, I would have done X differently or this differently, that differently. I'm sure both of you have heard that. I'm sure everyone's heard this like sentiment like beaten into the ground at this point. But looking back and like having any sort of distaste for stuff you've done before is only an indicator that you've grown, that you are not the person who would do that anymore. So I think there's something to be said for that. I think that's definitely a good thing. Do you have where did Fists Up Bite Down come from?
I love the absolute backstory to this song. So one of my friends, Dom, he sent me a video of him fighting, and we just got the visualizer done, so that'll be up in a couple weeks. But it is of him fighting, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this into a song. So I asked him. He's like, yeah, you can turn it into a song. And
fight, like fighting someone he was beefing with?
He just sent me a random video out of nowhere. They ended up fighting. I was like, all right, that's cool. Good for you, Dom. And then I heard him screaming.
Pump the brakes. Who was fighting in the video?
My friend Dom and some random kid.
And why were they fighting?
That's a great question. I don't know. I got no context on that one.
Okay.
I was just sent it. I was just sent that. I was like, dude, this is fucking hilarious. I want to turn this shit into a song. Because he was screaming, you want to fucking die, which is the main sample in the song. The kid he was fighting. Huh?
Did that come from that video?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And he was... The kid was screaming it as my friend Dom was fucking choking him out, and it was absolutely hilarious. I thought it was funny as shit, and I was in the studio with Josh, and I was like, we should use this as a sample. And he came up with the guitar, came up with the rest of the beat, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I know what I'm gonna do.
If there's one thing I miss in this world, it's that musical magician Joshua Lindstrom sitting down there.
He's now in Texas, which is awesome for him.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he living in Texas?
Yeah, he just recently moved to Texas. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Congratulations, Josh, if you're listening.
Yeah. If you're listening.
Josh, if you're listening. Sorry, I called you fat. I'm sorry, we called you fat for like almost 30 minutes straight. And then
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that sucked because that was like Dylan's joke, and we wanted it. Dylan was like, "Yeah, Josh is fat," and I was like, "Yeah, I could make a few of those." And then addiction, it took over. I couldn't stop. I kind of forgot we did that. Poor guy. Joshua looks not fat.
No. At least not since I've met him. I don't know before.
Not enough credit. Not enough credit to that Josh's April and Dylan joke that came afterwards. I feel like that was a more involved one.
Wait, I'm sorry. Joke?
It just keeps coming back. It just keeps coming back.
Something that keeps on fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about you mentioned the emergence of this being like, this is the emergence of an entirely different Matt. Walk us through how the Matt we're gonna be seeing in your your work in the future differs from the Matt that we've already known. How because you I don't know, you listed a couple stuff off to me when we like texted briefly before setting this up. Mm-hmm. But I want to like mention for John and the listeners, where have you improved, and what are some of the conscious changes you're making going forward?
So I am not focusing on like heartbreak anymore, because that's just only caused a lot of turmoil, not only mentally but for for my relationship at the time. So I was like, I'm just not gonna focus on that anymore. Even though that's an inevitable part of life. So I mean, that's something we all go through. I don't understand why it ever was a problem, but that's a whole lot of not my problem anymore. Yeah, it's a whole lot of not my problem anymore. Yeah. So there's going to be a whole lot less of that. There will be a little bit of it. I'm not going to lie, because like I said, that's a natural part of life. That's a natural emotion that you go through, no matter how many times you go through it. And so there'll be a little bit of that, but right now, from what I've been writing recently and what I'm sitting on, it's a whole lot more of genuinely me focusing down and grinding, where my flow is so much better. My actual lyric writing is so much better, and it's at a whole nother level. Like, I actually feel confident in it, and that's not something I can say with even better than ever. That was a fucking rough song.
Remember, we gotta stumble before we can run.
Yeah, that shit was rough, but even Smile, which is I guess I'll call the predating to Fists Up, Bite Down. I mean, that was a whole lot better flow wise, not necessarily lyrically. And then 6 Deep came out, and that was a whole lot better lyrically. And this is all in 2021. And then I took the 1.5 year break from just doing a whole lot of bullshit and focusing on all that.
I'm glad you brought up 6 Deep. I'm not even joking or pandering. I promise on my son's life. I woke up the other morning like with that in my head. I was just singing it to myself, getting ready for work.
That is, I would have to say that is one of my favorite choruses I've ever written.
It's really catchy. It's really, really catchy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, my vocals suck ass. They still do, but they're a lot better. But we had Josh singing it instead of me doing it. But I absolutely loved writing that, 'cause that was going to be in my verse initially, and then he's like, "No, this is too catchy." And I was like, "I guess we could change it to a chorus."
It is, yeah. I mean, it works great as a chorus, I think. It's a good song.
Thank you.
It's a good song.
Thank you.
It's a strong one between both of you. You can feel that you both were putting your best foot forward, and you almost, like, I think Trevor and I had that feeling too a lot when we were working on a project together, when like we both just had that giddy feeling about it, that we were just like, yes, and we just kept like pushing it more and more and more and more, and we were just so happy with what came out the other side that we just couldn't believe it. We just kept rewatching it over and over again, or replaying it, or whatever it might be.
Oh yeah, when you get that feeling, it just makes that whatever project you're working on just feel that much better, because even if it ends up being fucking dog shit to other people, to you, you're like, this is something I got personally hyped about. Every single part of it, that was my best at that time, no matter what. That was my best. I can only use that to see myself being better from there.
Right, and that feeling for me is like the whole reason behind creating in general. Is oh my god, dude! I rewatch the Multiverse all the time, and I'm like, I'm fucking losing my shit. But I had so much fun doing that. Like I had so much fun doing that, and then I watch it, and I get to see my old house, and I get to see all my friends, and I get to see like these stupid jokes that would like crack me up in the moment, and then like I don't know, it's like a little time capsule, and then being able to have these awesome positive emotions while you're creating with someone you care about. It's like, just even if you're not proud of the product later, it brings back at least that feeling for me a little bit, looking back on past work. Yeah, and I think that's the whole reason we do it.
It gives you that. It just gives you so much serotonin, and it makes you feel so much good.
Yeah.
So much good. Wow. That is.
Good. Yeah.
So much good. Very nice.
The thing about the Multiverse too is like it's a roller coaster, because there are the immense highs of the hard work and payoff that you got, and then there's like the lows of like you really just wanted to throw your camera up and get it done and get out of it. So
sometimes in the same episode.
yeah. And
on the episode that I was in, man, that was a lot of fun.
Dude, I had so much fun making that one too. No, it's one of my favorites. That one, and then I think episode 8, where John has all like the animal shit on. Every time I do that, Ultraverse to people in New York, I'm like, God bless my friend John, putting on those making noise for me, saying moo, saying oink.
Yeah, well, see, I slapped together some new visual stimuli for the intro that you can watch, and I think a lot of what I put in there was inspired by rewatching the Multiverse and rewatching a lot of things that we'd made and a lot of things that mostly you have made, and being like, I don't want these to just sit in these little slots right here. Like, I want to re-throw them out and just bring a little homage to them. So like some of my favorite parts I picked out and clipped together, and just finding excuses to put eyes back on it, because I love them so much.
You gotta embrace the past to be able to move forward into the future, no matter how good or how bad it was.
Damn.
Right.
That doesn't sound very I don't give a fuck. That sounds very stoic and beautiful.
It's a whole lot of being a lot more mature and understanding.
Well, maybe that is
who you are as a person.
I don't give a fuck about, like, I have no enemies. That's the type of shit you're on.
Oh, I have every enemy ever.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, fists are up.
Yeah.
Like I said, if something comes to mind, my guns are shooting. If you're not friends and family, you're not safe.
Damn.
He don't give a f about nothing.
I don't. I'm working on a whole new genre bending with one of my producer friends, Gorilla Chaos, and my goodness,
genre bending.
Genre bending, yes.
Okay, so what is that's like fusing between like two different genres?
Completely different genres. So he focuses on EDM.
All right.
Specifically house EDM, and so house EDM and rap, you don't really hear that too often, and if you do, it's yeah, it's a whole lot of different. And so I was working with him, and I love his producing anyways, and I was like, fuck it, let's try to make something together. And what we're doing right now is giving me that serotonin feeling every single time we start to work on it, and it's so nice. And anyways, he's a great producer, but it's you got to focus on something different.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a term like genre bending, you'd go for something a little bit further from each other, like
Old Town Road.
Yeah. Like how about EDM and Irish folk music?
I think that's an entirely new genre of music.
Bluegrass and grindcore.
The ye old hammer.
Hey, country's not that bad, all right?
No, country's good. I like country.
I like country.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely shit on country most of my life. But one of the things that's interesting about growing up is you come to find that you don't know anything, and you never did.
Oh, no. You only know yourself, and even then, you barely even know that.
Yeah, I can't say that confidently.
I listened to country music a lot growing up because that's what my parents listened to. And then in high school, I was like, this shit gives me a headache, and I couldn't listen to it. I hated it. And now I've been like creeping back in, and it started with like John, you and I kind of like swap like cowboy songs all the time because we're just both the Western genre. But then like that just bled into like sometimes I'm picking up like, I don't know, like pandery working class Rodney Atkins, and I'm like, this shit's about me. This shit's about me.
Merle Haggard knows what he's talking about.
I'm not a huge fan of like a lot of country. That I will have to say that, but Sam Hunt, genuinely my favorite artist out there for country. Just so good.
I don't think I've listened to any Sam Hunt. He's modern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most of what I've been dipping into is like a lot of the stuff that my dad would listen to, like when we were so probably like 2000, like 2008. That shit's been where I've been bumping around.
Ugh.
But I am dipping into modern a little bit.
I don't know if I've talked about this before, but Alyssa has made me a humongous fan of the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks. I feel like I might have brushed on this on the show before, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of them gals. They do it for me. You know, they got the voice of 3 country angels, and they're, you know, just like Kanye West, they're anti-Bush, so that comes in handy too.
Actually, that reminds me of something I've been meaning to ask. I'm meaning to ask John, but actually, while we've got Matt Hamm3r here, I would like to hear your answer on it too.
Okay, John, answer first.
All right, John. One time, it might have been on Caps Off, but I don't remember if it was on Caps Off or in person. But you asked me. You asked talking about Van Morrison, and you said his voice was like heroin. Yeah. And I said, Yeah. And you said, who would you say has a voice like heroin? And I had a really hard time coming up with an answer, and I kind of like bullshitted one. But I've been giving that a lot of thought, and I have an answer now in June of 2023. I'm ready to answer that.
I feel like my answer would probably be different now anyway, but go ahead.
Bill Withers.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is...
Bill Withers got a voice like heroin.
Yeah, I've never done heroin, but if that's what it is, I don't have a chance. You're going to find me in some rundown mansion somewhere with a fucking... covered up with, like, wall insulation.
Yeah, ain't no sunshine in your veins.
Yeah. Not when he's gone.
So, yeah, well... You said your answer might be different now. Does anyone come to mind when you try to think about that now?
Let me think about it while I ignore Matt's answer. Go ahead and answer, Matt.
There's a couple artists for me. I would have to say, just because like their music may be absolutely horrible, but like for some reason their voice just brings me back. Like Lilium Pumpernickel or Lil Pump. Oh, I love that guy. Love that guy.
Oh, wow.
Love him. Love him to death. Lil Pimp, as Trump likes to say. And then another one, actually good artist, Zilla Kami and then Denzel Curry. Those are like my 3 artists that no matter what, I will always come back to.
Yeah.
Just because I like their voice, I like their style. But Lilium Pumpernickels.
Do you know...
That one I can't explain to you.
Nostalgia's a powerful thing. I mean,
it's not nostalgia. It's not nostalgia. I actually think his music is good.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I understand that it is absolutely horrible.
In the same breath, you're like, yeah, I legitimately think it's so good, but it's bad, man. It's bad, but
Matt,
it's
so bad it's beautiful.
You know what heroin is, right?
Yeah, highly addictive.
Yeah. So you think Lil Pump's voice
is highly addictive? Yes.
It's like you just got to get.
It's so bad for you. It's so good, John. It's
Gucci
so
gang, Gucci
good.
gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Okay.
We spent an entire 2 summers just screaming Gucci gang. Okay.
I feel like since I've given myself the ability to just change my mind every few years about this answer, that right now, just because I've been listening to a lot of, I don't know if either of you are familiar with Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Alice in Chains at work, and something about Lane Staley's voice is also, it's very like grungy and gravelly and not like harmonic, really. I mean, it is in its own way, but definitely not something that's just like, oh, that's so soothing, I just got to get more and more of it. But I really, really enjoy his vocals so much. So I'm going to say Lane Staley, which is actually probably a terrible one to pick because he died.
He is a heroin.
Speedball, yeah. Yeah, which is heroin and cocaine mixed together.
Oh, well, boy.
I think, if anything, that just makes that relevant.
Yeah.
Not in bad taste.
Lil Pump is just absolutely terrible for you. That's why he's relevant to heroin.
I think Bill Withers. I'm an addict, dude. I'm hooked. So he does the vocals for just the two of us, and I've over the last couple of weeks,
God,
6-minute version of just the two of us is a perfect song. It is flawless. It might even be the best song ever written, in my opinion. I can't.
Yeah, and Sweet Winomi is another really, 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 really good one.
I'm writing that down because I've never heard of that.
Oh my! You're gonna hear it and be like, "Oh, I've heard this song," and you're gonna melt into it like butter on a stack of pancakes.
Oh, I can't wait because I just heard "Lovely Day" for the first time yesterday, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! This guy."
Kidding?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
God,
this is my first I've been aware of Bill Withers for years, but only a very small. So this is my first like catalog deep dive. What'd you say that song was called? Sweet what?
Sweet Winomi. It kind of spells how it sounds.
W-I-O-M-E.
Yeah. And I don't know. You'll type half of it and it'll come up.
Sounds good.
But yeah. And no, Lovely Day used to play every morning for me because we had like a little box TV in our bedroom, and every morning it would be set to channel 23, which is our local weather channel. And so we would, have the weather showing for the day, and just very lightly in the background, I would have like 4 or 5 different songs that would just repeat. And Lovely Day by Bill Withers was one.
I don't know, man. I sing in the car, and I'm not gifted or talented with my vocals at all, but I still just get mind. Like I try to sing along. I'm like, how does he carry a note like that for so long, so well?
Okay, so I'm gonna
a whole lot of practice.
I'm gonna take your curtains back here a little bit because you just said something. I have on my, I always come with a list of stuff, but I decided since we're gonna have our boy Matt H here, Matt Heroin.
3 times. Matt Heroin.
Ye Olde Hamm3r.
I'm not that bad for you guys, don't worry.
Since we got him here, I would just save that for, we're going to do a second episode, just you and me. And one of those bullet points is actually related to that. And I was going to ask you if you sing in the car.
Oh,
yeah. But, so I'm just going to put a bookmark there because I still want to use it there later. But I also so if you want to hear that story, you got to stay tuned for the next episode. It's going to continue on
for the episode that'll drop in about 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I'm going to hold on to it. It's a crossover. But yeah. Just me, the person who actually introduced Bill Withers to me was a good friend of mine, Connor Brockett, who I very many times have referred to you as like the Burlington version of Trevor, because you guys have painfully so many different things similar. You both taught me so many different similar things, introduced similar things. You like similar things. You both have dead dads. But
my technicality, but yeah. I got a dad. I'm like, I got the card. I don't know. It's like being light skinned. Yeah, it's like being a quarter black. It's like I can't say the N-word in certain circles, just not darker ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you're the logic of dead dads, Alyssa says. But he introduced me to Ain't No Sunshine. And we would always, when we would be listening to it together, we would always try to carry on with the I know, and try not to run out of breath. And he was always so good at it. It took me a few years to actually, of like listening to it to like, can you imagine years of listening to a song it took me to, but even now I can't do it, probably because I've blown my fucking blown so much smoke through my lungs that, it's just not, at capacity anymore, but, good memories of Bill Withers. It's a great selection, yeah.
I've got a similar kind of story, actually, because, well, it's not really a full-on story. It doesn't have nearly that much to it, but...
Oh, you know Connor?
No. Never will.
Damn.
But no, my friend, I learned about Bill Withers from my friend Calais, and he showed me "Lean on Me," and dude, and I loved that. I fell in love immediately. That was like one of the most beautiful songs I had ever heard in 8th grade. I was like, wow, groundbreaking.
Yeah, well, does music ever like give you goosebumps?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When you hear those songs, you're like, holy shit, I have to replay this again, no matter how many times. Like, it just gives you serotonin.
Yeah, you know how you discover a new song, and then you listen to it over and over till you're sick of it?
Mm-hmm.
I always am aware of that's going to happen when I start doing that, and I'm like, but I just can't stop myself because it's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm currently doing that with Bia Miller and Amine's Feel Something Different. Oh my goodness. It's just so good. I love it.
What am I doing that with? I don't know. Probably a couple songs. It's hard to say. Oh, I know I was listening to Cowpoke a lot by Coulter Wall. That's another like cowboy one. I think you'd really enjoy that. It's I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's a good one. I'd check it out. What do you listen to over and over and over and over again?
Give me a second and I'll tell you. Hang on.
Oh, he's got to ruin his video and everything.
Yeah, my bad. I just had to let there.
Did I talk to you about earworms before, Trevor?
You might have. Let me answer your other question first, now that I'm back. I think the two most recent songs that I had that with were Layla by Derek and the Dominoes and Peter Frampton, Show Me the Way. Those two, I was like, man, I just couldn't turn them off, I guess.
Gives you a musical boner.
Yeah.
Exactly. Precisely, yeah.
Well, those are called, well, I guess not exactly that. That's just when you, so earworms. Does that ring a bell? Did I talk to you about earworms? I don't want to re-talk about something I already talked about.
You have talked to me about it, and I know what an earworm is anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's like when it's stuck in your head.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, but it's like why a song gets stuck in your head. It's like your brain making up for the auditory absences in your surroundings and shit. So like when you're more, you're more used to being around noisy scenarios or listening to a lot of music or radio all day or yada yada, and you get to a quieter place or a place where it's not, your brain tends to like make up for that because it's the kind of stimuli that you're used to. It's very interesting. And it's also kind of torturous because I don't know about you, but sometimes when you're trying to like if it's like one of those nights where you really can't sleep and you got to be up in the morning and you just keep remembering the same like 2 lines of a song, and it can be very, very, very daunting.
Sometimes that shit puts me to sleep. It's like comforting.
Yeah, it can be comforting sometimes too. I agree. In the way of like, if it's a good song, you always want to have a good earworm, I guess. It's best if your earworm aligns with the song that you're currently, fixated over.
Yeah, it does. But if you end up with something like the song that never ends,
Mm-hmm.
Like Gucci Gang.
Or like Gucci Gang.
Like Lil Pump, my God.
I got an earworm of Gucci Gang right now. Kept me all night.
By the time we're done with this, we're just gonna all be singing Gucci Gang.
No, I don't know the words to that one.
It was just Gucci Gang 238 times. I counted.
Is it 238?
It's somewhere near that, yeah.
Wow.
I remember in high school actually counting how many times he says "Ishkete" in the song "Ishkete." It was around that amount too.
Okay.
Oh, it was around.
I had nothing to do in high school.
Certainly not your work.
Well, it was in a class that was online, and I was already done with it. So I was like, How many times does he say this song name in it?
Technically, he's doing arithmetic, so it's not all that.
No, you're right. You're right.
Did just a waste time, man.
Did you get through all your interview questions, Trevor?
I do have one more. What can we expect out of Matt Hamm3r in the next year? Because you told
next year.
The next year, yeah, because you told me, I figure, like, took a year off, so we're going to look at the past year, so let's look forward a year as well. You told me this Fists Up, Bite Down is on the lower end of the spectrum of what you've been working on.
Of what I'm sitting on currently, yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about what's to come.
So my next song that will be coming out for sure on streaming platforms is going to be Ghost of I with Jalen, which, oh my goodness, I absolutely love it to pieces. It has a little bit of the broken heart mentality, but it's a whole lot more of self-reflection and dealing with, at least for my part, depression and kind of figuring out what's the next step in life, even if it's not with someone or even if it's by myself, because you have to have a good relationship with yourself to be able to go anywhere. And so it can be interpreted either way, at least to me. Obviously, music is subjective, and anybody can interpret it any way they want. But there's that, and that'll be, I don't know exactly when that's releasing. I'm aiming for about 2-3 months from now, because we are doing a little bit of different promo for the next couple of releases, so we can go ahead and actually not be unheard, because obviously the goal is to eventually be heard, and that's always the goal. And I'm not doing it for money, I'm doing it for myself. You never want to make anything for for anybody else. Like Quentin Tarantino, he makes music, or not music, movies for himself, right. And praise to God for the company's sake that's producing it, that there's crazy motherfuckers like him out there that'll watch it like him. So there's that coming up pretty soon here. I am sort of working with another ghostwriter, Kai Kami. He's different, man. He's different. He wants me to do all the vocals because he wants his voice to be heard, but his voice not to be heard, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. No, absolutely. Kind of like some people would be like, I have written this monologue, but I'm no actor.
Yeah.
You know, I can't sing. I'm going to give it to someone who I know can perform it the way it deserves to be performed. I guess. Yeah,
yeah, and I want to give him due credit and due justice, and so it's going to be tough because I'm in a completely different headspace right now. So focusing on his music and then my music, and then, you know, working with other artists that, like I said, with Guerrilla Chaos, genre bending and stuff like that. So I got a whole lot in the works. I have about 5 or 6 songs ready to go if I really want to put them out, which is so nice, because before I would be like, oh, I only have this song, I got to put it out. And now that I've taken the year off and kind of understood what the music industry is sort of like, you know, being able to hold on to stuff and sit on it, let me think about it for a while to be able to release it is so nice. But yeah, I'm planning on releasing a whole lot more, not planning on taking a year off. That's the goal. What's up, Maddie? My sister just walked in.
Oh, I know.
No.
Oh, I know her.
It's Trevor and John. We're doing the podcast right now.
Oh shit!
Love you, kiddo. Yeah, she's living with me, so.
Tell her congrats, by the way.
Oh yeah, Maddie. Trevor says, "Congrats, graduating."
Ah.
She said, "Thanks, Shoddy."
Oh.
What a great interruption. Feel free to keep that in.
But
definitely something I'm focusing on is actually not taking breaks anymore. and like I put it on my Instagram, which if you guys haven't followed, Matt Hamm3r with a 3 instead of an E, straight up. Just I got the domain, so fuck you. But yeah, I posted on there a tweet of what I put, essentially saying, you know, this is me going balls to the wall. This is do or die. I am going to be a name that is house recognized, whether you guys like it or not. That is something that I am focusing on. I'm not trying to focus on making only hits. I'm making music for myself, and if I think it's good, I'm going to put it out. If I don't, I'm going to sit on it, work on it until it does get to that point. And like I said, it has to do a lot with maturity. I'm assuming, you know, with Caps Off, you guys have done that. You guys have some stuff that is like never will be released because it was just that bad because you guys weren't happy with it. Once you're happy with a product and you put it out, that's when it gets to the point of, yeah, I'm going to release that.
Yeah. I think most of Caps Off is actually stuff that we should have been thinking about that with. We were just like, yeah, get it out there. Get it out there.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
Yeah, we just had the same thought. I don't even have to say anything. You just ripped the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's for when you're first starting out, you want to be consistent, don't get me wrong. But once you get to the point of consistency isn't working out for you, you want to work on quality instead of quantity. And that's kind of what I did for that year, and my quality is so much better. Now it's time to ramp up into the quality and quantity. That's always the goal, but within the next year, I'm planning on releasing at least anywhere between 4 to 6 songs. So considerably a lot more than what I have been, but
Well,
if you look as a broad perspective, that's not a lot, but it is.
compared to the last 19 months, though, I mean,
Oh yeah,
more than 10 times what you've put out, because 10 times 0 is 0.
Yeah.
yeah. And
So you can really like bump that up. Like, I'm producing 100 times my old number.
Yeah, and if you're going for quantity, I highly recommend that you pick a phrase or word that you really like and then put that in a song 268 more times.
yeah, I can't.
It's
So
bound to be-
that
history shows it's bound to be a hit.
Can we
that
get
style of music has gone out since 2016, guys. So unfortunately, we
can bring
can't get popular off of doing that anymore.
It's Matt.
Matt Hamm3r will bring it back.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck.
the Matt Hamm3r Gucci Gang revolution? This is what I. This is
Gucci
not
Gang
a want,
Part 2.
not a want, a need.
Yeah, but I'm not saying
Yeah.
you say Gucci gang. You got to find a new word like
Hammer.
hammer.
I was thinking spit.
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 You can't see it when you open it. That's funny. Spit. So you just say like 268 times, just spit.
So think of like
With rhythm.
It's gonna be a
spit. You know, like that.
All right, yeah. Now we're cooking.
It's gonna be a hit for playground bullies. They're gonna love that song. With the
But,
boombox,
yeah.
I'm gonna hold down Jerry. Spit.
Just gonna be a chant.
Yeah, and he just soaks the kid because he just spits every time you say spit. And then it's gonna be a TikTok challenge, and then you're gonna get what you want. You're gonna be a household name. Because
I do have a beef to pick with TikTok just because, like, don't get me wrong, it is a great way to get popular. Beautiful way to get popular now, but most of the songs that explode are gimmicky.
Gimmicky and, if I'm gonna be honest, unremarkable. Like, forgettable. So forgettable.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs that I will have to say are have that exception to not being forgettable, like Armani White's Billie Eilish. I walk around singing that shit all the time. I love Armani White. That's how I found Armani White. So sometimes it works really well, but you have fucking Masked Wolf's Astronaut in the Ocean. Everyone fucking hates that song now.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that there's a lot of songs that like were always popular, but didn't seem to have a relevance to certain people until it appeared on their phone, like in this certain app, and then it's like, oh, this song's amazing, and it's all, I've always been a fan of this person, yada yada yada. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like just the two of us is really big right now.
Yeah,
and
good example.
It's always big now. I remember hearing in like memes like in like 2021, and that's when I learned about it. I was like, oh, I can listen to this.
Still big. It's still big.
There's nothing wrong with it. It just seems like
there's nothing wrong with being gimmicky and exploding off of TikTok. It's just once it becomes more of a industry, it's easier to put industry plans through that.
Yeah.
Like if Baby Goth put any of her music on while TikTok was ginormous, she would actually be decently big. Like, she has a good voice. It's just everyone hated her because her first song was with two relatively big artists, and that's like a for sure fire away of finding out, hey, this person may just be an industry plant.
Who is what was Baby Goth, a TikToker?
No, she was a music artist.
Okay.
Her first song was like with Trippie Redd and
okay.
I don't know the other person, but it was
unknown and then just placed in there with two people who were known, and people are like, what?
Yeah. It's just like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, I come across names like that all the time. I feel like when I'm scrolling through music, and I'm like, who has heard of you? Like, how did you get on this popular this popular chart? Like
if that is your first song, that makes no sense. That is a dead giveaway.
Yeah, they sound
if that's like
Impractical Jokers, like fake names half the time, like featuring JaCrispy.
Yeah,
who is JaCrispy?
Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite Impractical Jokers bits is with the AEW wrestler MJF, where Q and MJF were having a debate on if the wrestling chops actually hurt, and he just starts fucking chopping the shit out of Q. I absolutely love that, because MJF is one of the best wrestlers to do it right now, man.
Is that a fact? I don't listen, or
he really doesn't, does he?
I watch a whole lot of wrestling, so you
don't go along with that so much you didn't even know how to respond. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
I swear of all time, and I'm like, I don't listen to him.
I don't listen to him at all. His promos are great. Just fucking absolute dickhead, and I love it.
Matt, it was excellent having you. I'm so excited for your new era. I'm so excited for the future music you have coming out. I regrettably have not listened to, this is a part where I admit I've not heard yet, what's called a Bite Down, Take a Spit.
Fist Up, Bite Down.
Boo.
Fist Up. Sorry, but I will go listen to it just like you all should. And I can't wait to hear the sample. And is there somewhere I can see this video? This guy beating the shit out of this dude? Or
yeah, can I get that video? I want to.
Yeah. So I'll send it to you guys in the Discord. But I am going to be dropping a visualizer of it in a couple weeks. It is going to be a little bit edited just so it fits, but it's cool. Awesome. I love it. And then a couple weeks after that, we plan on dropping the music video.
So yeah, follow Matt Hamm3r. You're going to see that video. You're going to go check out his song, just like I'm about to go do. And
Bite Down. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere else.
It's on music. SoundCloud, I'm going to be putting up a week later for all of my music. That is on Apple Music or not Apple Music, streaming services that isn't SoundCloud. From here on out, that way I don't have like a 2-year delay before I put them on SoundCloud, like I did with 6 Deep. Took me 2 years to put it on there. So. But yeah, I'll be able to put them on about a week after. That way it gives the non-SoundCloud listeners a little bit more of incentive to go ahead and listen. And then the SoundCloud listeners, I'm trying to post a lot more of freestyles and stuff that I'm kind of loosely working on just to get myself better. That way, you guys can hear a little bit of what's going on in my brain and what I'm working on, what I'm specifically working on, and trying to improve. So, you know, it's a little bit for everyone. Because I mean, SoundCloud is a little bit dead, but there's a lot of people that still use it, and so why not give those people a little bit of a treat?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, buddy. Good luck on the house. Congratulations on the house, and
thank you.
I hope it's not as long as it was last time before it is the next time I get to talk to you.
I hope so as well. I mean, you guys just let me know. I'm always down to come on.
Hell,
all right, hell yeah. Are we still shaking hands when we end episode?
Sweet ass, we're shaking these hands.
All right, there we go.
A three-way handshake.
Love you, bro.
The guy! Oh my
Hey, Donald, this is Paul. Hey, if you get a chance, if you give me a call back, please. Love you, bro. I want to talk to you about the house. Thank you. This is Paul. Love you, bro. Hey, Donald, this is Paul. Love you, bro.
What are you gonna be saying?
Well, you'll see in a bit.
Oh, okay. All right, well,
Are we going?
you said it was your first bit, but I'm gonna see it in a bit.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. In a little bit.
Bitception.
And it is a little bit.
Is it a bit as in like a portion of time, or a bit as in like a thing you would do in like for comedic relief?
It's a bit like a measurement of computer data. It's a little bit.
Cool. A little bit. Motherfucker. Damn thing keeps freezing on me.
Ah.
Bah. It's gonna piss me off. I thought I had it fixed, but just keeps
Better to be
doing it.
pissed off than pissed on.
Heyo. Preach, brother.
And that's then with a THEN, not AN.
Preach.